Welcome everybody to the Spend and Nick show. We're having quite a lot of fun here in central London. We're walking around, we're messing around. We don't even know if the sound is good, and we hope that the clouds are going to stay as they are. But what we actually doing here, what have we been messing around doing?
We've been having a huge amount of fun doing some B-roll, actually practicing creating B-roll of each other just in some amazing locations in London. Not your classic touristy locations. We've gone to some, some kind of cool parts, some East London vibes.
Yeah, we've also managed to catch some people painting.
Yeah.
We've got some good photos of them and some B-roll of people of each other taking photos as well.
This is just about us getting out there, doing a bit of learning, discovering some of the functionality of the cameras that we're not familiar with, figuring out whether we can do this kind of thing out and about, whether we can do a whole film which is 90% B-roll probably.
Yeah.
I guess that's what this is going to be. Hopefully it's cool, hopefully you love it. We've enjoyed it.
It's been good fun. It's also quite interesting filming because you've obviously got everyone around just like going, well, what are they doing over there with their cameras? So that's been quite fun as well.
We've got a pretty cool setup here. We've got the two Canon Rs going on. Got these mics, these Sennheiser wireless mics. So it's pretty pro setup, I think we've got right
I'm
now.
hoping it's not sounding like...
Yeah, the coat thing.
Yeah.
And I was just saying to Nick earlier, we did some filming recently and Nick had one of these mics on and he had it really close to his chest hair, and he's got the hairiest chest hair in the world, I'm sure.
You haven't seen my dad's chest.
Is it as noisy though?
Probably noisier. It's very noisy. So
Nick, what I would love to know is, what have you learned today? What's the biggest takeaway from the experiments that we've been doing, from capturing B-roll, from just being out there filming stuff?
I think it's important to explore, but I think it's also important to have a good plan of what you want to do, and also it's not good to have your bike with you when you're recording, because Spencer was able to record everything. Whereas with my bike in one hand and my rucksack on, it's a nightmare carrying everything around. So I think
this show probably shouldn't be called the Spend and Nick show, because there's so much footage of you.
I know.
It should probably be called the Nick Out and About show or something like that. Like Nick wandering the streets aimlessly with a bike and a rucksack.
I think that's probably
Is
fair.
that a catchy enough title for YouTube?
I think that's fair. So, and what has been the biggest learning for you?
For me, it's how hard capturing really good B-roll is. I think there's a real true art to it. What I think I've done is filmed a bunch of things which are kind of really obvious and regular stuff that you would see. But when I'm watching other people, particularly other people on YouTube, really good cinematographers, people that do this a lot, they capture these unique angles, these different kind of zoom effects, all of those kind of random B-roll footage that is really doesn't come naturally to you, I think. And so my biggest takeaway is how much more we've got to practice and how much more we've got to experiment with trying different weird things. I've just seen this statue over there. We'll get some B-roll of this in a minute. But this dude's doing a one-handed handstand, this statue, and he's got his tackle out. He's got his tackle fully on display.
And it's difficult to know whether he's just happy to see us or it's just gravity as well, because he's upside down.
If gravity does that, then I want a bit of it.
Yeah. And so, what about that lunch though?
Yeah.
Those empanadas.
That was so good.
Argentinian empanadas. They were good.
They were great. And you know, when you take that first bite, especially the beef one, I've got to say the beef's my favourite.
I think so too. And I was just telling Spencer about the history of empanadas, because I've done my research. I'm quite a connoisseur. Did you know, because we were talking about the Cornish pasties, and they're very similar, right? But actually the history of it is that the Cornish pasty is older, and they were, all the people that were on the ships, they brought them over to Latin America and to like Central America and the Caribbean. So you've got the patties in like Jamaica, you've got empanadas across the rest of Latin America as well, and so they're just delicious. So we had a good time there. I'm glad that we managed to talk about that, because that's a real passion of mine.
And the Cornish are the true innovators in this space, basically. It went global.
Cornwall was actually a very innovative place, and the Cornish were very innovative at that time. So it's exciting to be able to see that. And
it's a beautiful part of the world.
Cornwall?
Yeah.
Lovely.
Is it as nice as Devon?
The weather can be even better in Cornwall. So I think Devon's its own thing.
Yeah.
It's quite rugged.
Because the people do put the two things together. They put Cornwall and Devon together
They
so
do.
often, and I'm sure as someone from that part of the world, there's a bit of frustration there. No,
I don't know. I feel like I'm of it, but not.
it's just a lot of love.
I'm
It's
of
a lot
it,
of love for the
of it, but
Cornish.
not part of it. I don't know. I feel like I really like both parts, though.
That's cool. That's cool. But yeah, they were particularly good empanadas. Yeah, and like just lovely people as well.
And then we've got some good shots in front of the buildings as well. Trying to get some building photography shots as well.
Photography is tough. I can feel the rain just starting to come in as well.
I think it's good timing.
It's good timing. Photography, that's one of my takeaways, is that photography is hard. We've been using these cameras pretty much like 100% for filming. And settings, I think we're just about there. I think we probably have a good understanding of the Canon ESR right now in terms of how to set it up and how to get a good shot, using log, those kind of things. But when it comes to photography, everything changes and everything's the same. It's kind of weird. You've got all the same settings, you've got all the same things you need to dial into the camera to get a good shot, but everything is different as well. It's kind of a weird thing, and that's kind of throwing me today. It's one of my big takeaways.
Definitely.
That and the B-roll and that guy's tackle.
I think that's a good place to leave it there today. So it's been a short and sharp episode. It's been good fun. We've had a lot of fun today.
Yeah.
We don't know if this is going to be good or bad, but we'd appreciate your support. So,
As always.
So if you want to like, subscribe.
Do you know what? Last week's episode, we've got some regular viewers. Last week's episode was just Nick and I, straight to camera, very little B-roll, just us talking about those questions that we had that got sent in.
And we'll do another episode where we answer the other two as well.
We might, if this rain holds out, fingers crossed, we'll see. We might even go in undercover here as well.
Yeah.
I think we should do it. But I would love to know, which do you prefer? Do you prefer this style of Spenonic? Do you prefer the style from last week? Do you prefer the style from the week before, which had a bit of a story and a narrative? Do you prefer the week before that, which was Nick and I in our own houses separately doing it that style? We've got 4 completely different styles of the Spenonic show. We'd love to know, which is your preference? Tell us.
Voting buttons now.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3 or 4.
Share that in the comments. That'd be amazing.
Oh, wouldn't it just? Thank you so much. Share it. That's what we're asking.
Yeah, if you could share this, if you found it useful, that'd be wonderful. But until next time, I think.
Absolutely.
See you later, everyone.
See you later.